So I posted on my Twitter, my YouTube community page, and my Discord server that I wanted to try my hand at an Ask Me Anything video. I got a good number of questions. They only came from 3 people that all just so happen to be my friend, but the questions themselves I think are fairly interesting. So let's get into them.
Let's go!
The first group of questions was asked by Alyssa, aka Towers. She's an author that's currently writing a serialized slice of life fiction series called Towers of Memories. If you're into magic and mysteries, I highly recommend it. Link will be in the description down below. So the first question that Towers asked me, what are your favorite and least favorite Sonic games? So the way that I think about this is in eras, and that is definitely thanks to Sonic Generations. So for the Genesis era, I'm going to go with Sonic 3 and Knuckles. More the Sonic 3 side than the Sonic and Knuckles side. And a lot of that is just because I really like Ice Cap Zone. But I do appreciate the story. I like the level transitions. I like the way that the sprites look. The music, of course, outside of Ice Cap Zone is fantastic. And the lock-on technology, I think, is really cool. And having it transition from Sonic 3 to Sonic and Knuckles is really just kind of fascinating as well. Plus, it introduced Knuckles, so that's cool. For the adventure period, I go with Sonic Adventure 2 or Sonic Heroes. That one's kind of tough. Sonic Adventure 2 has some nostalgia for me. I played it on the GameCube when I was a kid, but I mean, the story is awesome. I think it's cool that you can play as the different characters. I know that they did that in Sonic Adventure, but like with the first Sonic Adventure, that was all of their own story was just that one character. This is a hero story and a dark story, and you'll start as Sonic and then you'll move to Tails and then you'll move to Knuckles and so on and so forth. And so I thought that that was kind of cool, switching characters every level. But biggest thing for Sonic Adventure 2 is that game introduces Shadow. And Shadow is my favorite character, or one of my favorite Sonic characters, I'll say. And then the case for Sonic Heroes is I really just like the team mechanic, and then of course more nostalgia. A lot of characters, but the speed, flight, and power mechanic and being able to switch between them to go through levels and stuff like that, I think is really cool. And I wish to see that in future games. Like if there is another Sonic game or just another game in general where they could utilize playing as 3 different characters that have different abilities in a action platformer type scenario, I think that would be really, really cool. And then for the modern era is really tough for me because a lot of them are more or less the same. I mean, I obviously really like Sonic Generations. Colors was really good. I think my favorite is Sonic Unleashed, honestly. That was the birth of boost gameplay, and I think that honestly it feels the best to me. Generations and Colors kind of watered down that play style a little bit. I really like the concept of Sonic traveling all over the world, and I mean, even the Werehog stages are really fun, and I think it's just overall a good time. So Sonic 3 and Knuckles, Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Heroes, Sonic Unleashed. The next question that Towers asks is, what's your favorite Batman comic story? So this one was a little tough for me because I don't remember everything that I've read, and there's some comic stories that have been adapted into DC animated movies. And so while I didn't read the actual comic, I do tell other people that I am familiar with the story because I watched it. So for one that I just watched and didn't read, my favorite would be The Dark Knight Returns. I really liked a lot of the themes in that, the kind of old Batman and that kind of just that whole world that they built, I think is really, really fascinating. Seeing Batman make and Bruce make some of those choices. I think it's interesting to see like what happens when everyone gets older and the whole Batman era is no more, that kind of after effect. Dark Knight Returns is kind of interesting because of that. And then also we get Carrie Kelly Robin, which you don't ever really see, I don't think, at least not in the things that I've seen. I think she's kind of like a one-off in that one comic, and I love seeing her. She's just fun. So as far as comics that I've actually read, my original answer was The Killing Joke, but I couldn't exactly remember why. I did some digging, and that story is, honestly, it's really f***ed up. But I think that's what I like about it. Not necessarily the content that's in it, but the testing of Batman and Joker's relationship. Other comics where Batman and Joker's relationship is really pushed, I think, is also Death of the Family and Three Jokers. I think for actual comics that I've read, The Killing Joke, Three Jokers, and Death of the Family, and really any other comic story where Batman and Joker's relationship is really tested, I think those are the ones that I like based on this trend that I'm seeing. Favorite live action TV show villain? Towers is coming in clutch with these tough questions. So another thing where I struggled to try to remember everything that I've watched. I feel like I watch more animation than I do live action TV. So I think as far as live action TV show villains goes, my favorite, I have a few. First is Penguin and Riddler from Gotham. I really enjoyed Gotham when it was airing. I made a point to keep up with it. I watched the whole thing. I thought it was really cool, really interesting. Penguin, I think, could get a little annoying sometimes, but I liked it. I don't know how he was able to do it, but that dude just knew how to weasel his way in and out of every situation that he could have ever possibly been in. There's been so many times he's been on, like, could have died, and he's just a smooth dude, and it's kind of fascinating to watch. And Riddler I like just because I've always liked Riddler. That whole, like, his whole aesthetic I thought was very, very interesting. So there is that. And then my other group of villains from live action TV is Regina Rumpelstiltskin from Once Upon a Time. Same thing. Rumple is just a smooth dude. I don't know why. I have a thing with these characters. Things just work for them. They just know what to say, when to say it, how to say it. I don't know why that's so fascinating to me. I haven't finished Once Upon a Time as of recording this, so where I'm at, I really do like that they really humanized, as far as Regina goes, they really humanized her, and Rumple too, but she went from, she was a good person, and then just trauma happened, and then she was the evil queen, and now where I'm at in the story, she's really trying hard to get her life back on track, and I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that because I feel like with a lot of villains, it's always good guy good, bad guy bad. And I really appreciate Regina being like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be like this. I have a kid that I love, that I want to raise. I want to be, his mom. I can't be evil queen anymore if I actually want to have the life that I want. So I really appreciate that. I'm hoping that what we see is that Regina is actually more victorious in her journey, and that she comes out on top, because I know she's not real, but I'm very proud of her. I'm very, very proud of her. But see, Once Upon a Time alone has a lot of really good villains. So, just shout out to Once Upon a Time. That, from what I've seen of it, I've absolutely loved it. And then the last question that Towers asks is, if Pokemon were real and you could choose only one to keep by your side for the rest of your life, which one would you choose? Squirtle. Absolutely. 100 million bajillion %. I would pick Squirtle. The reason for Squirtle, 1, nostalgia. 2, he's a water type. I pick water types. I'm a water sign, so I just pick water types because of it. We get each other, you know what I mean? We vibe. But I also think that Squirtle is super cute, and I don't know. I just like water types, and he's a Gen 1 starter, like water Gen 1 starter. There you go. I do also play, whenever I play Pokemon Trainer in Smash, ever since like Brawl, I always would try to main Squirtle. Like, Squirtle is one of my main fighters. I love playing as Squirtle in Smash. So thank you, Towers. Again, if you're interested in the book that she's writing or anything else that she's in, I'll put her link tree in the description down below. The next set of questions were asked by Nicky, aka Strawberry Usagi. She's a super talented artist and just a wonderful person in general. And she's actually done some work on this channel already. The Smash videos that are on this channel were edited by her in After Effects, of all programs. Very fascinating to me. On my Twitch, she's done my emotes and the profile icon for this channel. She made that as well. Or in the Hat in Time video, she's the one that drew the parody Matt Pat that bounces around the screen. If you're interested in seeing any of her art or what she's up to, her socials will be linked in the description down below as well. Nicky asks me, what 3 things would you bring to a deserted island? All right, I would say I would bring my phone, specifically because I currently have an iPhone 14 Pro Max. And one of the features that Apple boasted with this phone is that it has the ability to use satellite to send a message. If you're ever lost, like on a hike or something like that, you can connect to satellite, send a message, and then hopefully, someone will come get you versus, being out in the woods, having no signal, and then you're screwed, right? So I would bring my phone because I'm sending that message because I do not want to be here any longer than I have to. I would bring a flare gun so that way I can shoot it up and people can see where I'm at. And I would want to bring a blade of some kind, a sword, a knife, a machete, something. So that way I can protect myself and cut vegetation down that's in my way, like something like that. Question number 2 is, if all of your waifu fought it out in an all-out death battle, who would win? This is a very fascinating concept, Nicky. I really do feel like this could probably be a video all in itself. And if you guys would like to see it, comment, hey, make the death battle video. I'd be all for it. I can't give you a straight answer right now, though, because a few things. First of all, I don't really do the waifu thing anymore. I have a literal list and I haven't looked at it in a while. So I need to look at it, really determine, like, do I actually like this character or did I put them on because they were goth or whatever? So I need to kind of cut down my list, and then after I bring it down to the characters that I actually like, I got to figure out what their power levels and abilities are and what they do, what they can't do, what their weaknesses are and all that. Then once I have done the science behind everything, I will be able to report back to you on that. I do really like that concept. I would really like to make that video. Next question. Which rabbit is best? I have 2 answers for this one. And this was a tough one because I had to Google rabbit characters. I mean, you say rabbit characters to a Sonic fan, the first person I think of is Cream. So kind of had to Google what rabbit characters are there. And then I came up with the ultimate answer. Boingo from Hoodwinked. That movie is a cult classic. I absolutely love it. It's so funny. It's such a good time. I highly recommend that everyone see Hoodwinked if you haven't seen it. I quote it all the time. I said that I had 2 answers to this question though. And the second answer is your bunny, Nicky. Aggie is best bun. Of course, obviously. Next question. Least favorite Sonic side character or NPC? So the thing with me and Sonic characters is I either really like them or they're all just kind of in this muddled gray pile of, you're there. Wanting to give you a solid answer though, I think I'm going to go with Chris Thorndike from Sonic X. Just as much as I can make a case defending Chris, I don't understand why he's there, what he does. If any character gets on my nerves, I think it's Chris. So I don't know. Really tough answer. But on to your last question. Where does the name Spin-77 come from? And I'm actually really happy that you asked this. This is one of those kind of secret desires that I was hoping that someone would ask. I wish someone would ask me where my name comes from. So Spin Dash, for those that don't know, it's the one where he curls up in a little ball and just kind of spins in place. It's just a fun mechanic. It's just a fun move to do. And then the 7-7 is for 2 reasons. One is there are 7 Chaos Emeralds. The other 7 is just for lucky number 7. There's just something aesthetically pleasing to me about the number 7. And whenever I write it, I always write it with a little line through it. Yeah, I always wish that someone would ask the question, but then it's answer's not really that exciting. Thank you, Nicky, for your questions. And again, if anyone is interested in what Nicky does and her artwork, it'll all be in the description down below. And my final batch of questions comes from Cheyanne, aka Wiggleworm, on Twitch. She's a super fun person to be around and a talented actress. She gave me an Instagram to share with you guys, and that will be in the description as well if you want to check out her photos. So Shay asked me, what is your favorite thing about creating content? Really good question. I appreciate it. So what I like about creating content is I've been wanting to do this for a very long time. And I've had all these ideas in my head, funny, serious, philosophical, all of this kind of stuff that I've been wanting to do creatively. that I believe that this channel will finally give me an outlet to be able to do those things. Plus, it's going to be like, it's challenging me and it's pushing me out of my comfort zone a little bit, which I think is good. I'm hoping that I can find other people that are like-minded, find other people that are like me, and form new friendships, new relationships. I really do feel like this will be something that, or hope rather, that this will be something that really opens doors for me. Her next question is, what is something you'd like to achieve on your platform but haven't yet? Oh my goodness. So many things. I mean, my Sonic Prime video just broke 100 views recently, so that's an accomplishment. But I would love if this was something that obviously became monetized and I could support myself off of. I hope that it's something that I can, talk with different people and get their ideas and stuff like that. Again, make new friends. A very specific dream that I have, I would love to guest on Game Grumps. I would love to do that so much. Me and Aaron and Dan just sitting there, and then I can teach Aaron how to play a Sonic game. That's my dream. I think it would just be cool. One of the things, just kind of stepping back, that I've always loved about YouTube is seeing creative people work together, and just seeing like these people go from kind of just being geeks online to having companies and doing tours, and they're living their best life by just being themselves. Like, that's huge. I would love that. Another thing too, I know it's kind of a long answer, but just like how I'm looking for other people, I hope that other people can find comfort in me. Like, I hope that people come to this channel and they go like, this guy gets it. I finally feel heard. So thank you for the question. And then the final question Shay asks is, what's your favorite thing you've done on the channel? I don't really feel like I've done anything super noteworthy just yet. My Sonic Prime video really is the first video that's different. Kind of me stepping out and trying other things. So, I'm happy that I did that, but taking a step back, I'm really just happy that I even have the channel. I really do wish that I had started it earlier, but it's here now, right? And I'm happy that I have it. And I think that every step I take, every video I upload, every, view I get, every dislike I get, every comment, they're all steps in a forward direction, and they're all learning experiences. So I'm just happy that I have the channel. Thank you for the questions, Shay. If you guys want to check out her Insta, that'll be in the description down below. And that's all the questions I have. Thanks again to Shay and Towers and Nicky for asking questions. It really means a lot to me. And if you guys have any questions for me, feel free to leave them in the comments down below, or you can join my Discord server, which will be in the description as well. Or if you would like to try to answer any of these questions, leave your answers in the comments down below. I'd love to read them, respond to them. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.